Hi everyone, I'm Tori Meadows, and this is my reflection for academic affairs. The first question says, what do you think are the main functions of academic affairs within higher education? In my opinion, the very first function for academic affairs is to make sure that they fulfill the mission of the actual university. Although there are many academic affair departments that have their own mission and vision, they have to first focus on making sure that the mission of the university is fulfilled. I think that the academic affairs also sets requirements and organize programs for departments. They determine the type of course. Some of them determine the type of courses that will be taught, and they alter content and courses as necessary throughout different departments. Academic affairs also has to make sure that they implement the constant changes that are happening throughout higher education and make sure that they put them into place within each department, but still be sure that the mission and vision of the school and academic affairs is being met. The next question says, how do these functions differ based on the type of institution? I believe that it matters in some ways if it's public or private, because I did use a private school in my comparison and contrasting of my institutions. And I think it also matters if the school is large or small. And the main thing is, this is how institutions build their mission on, if it's a large school or it's a small school, and the different roles that people play within them. So I feel like academic affairs has to create their mission and vision and create their functions based off what the university wants or needs. The three institutions that I compared and contrasted were Georgia Southern University, Georgia Southwestern State University, where I received my undergraduate degree, and I also did Duke University. The vice president for Georgia Southern works closely with the president and colleagues in planning and policy developments and promoting campus-wide academic initiatives and in defining the budget, which I thought was very interesting because I did not see this in the other two institutions. Georgia Southern mentioned that they have a $110 million budget that they oversee. And they also have a committee that's made up of faculty, staff, and even students when necessary that make sure that the university is always advancing, which I did not see where there were students included in any of the other committees at the other two institutions, so that was nice. The mission for Georgia Southern focuses on the oversight of teaching, scholarship, and service. And they want to be sure that students are engaged and that they are learning skills that are necessary for them to be successful outside of the institution once they leave. So that was really nice. Georgia Southwestern State University, the provost or the president, which was used interchangeably on this website, oversees different departments, and he also supervises academic personnel and oversees arts and sciences and different departments, which was mentioned a lot. The mission for Georgia Southwestern focus on facilitating and encouraging academic excellence for students. So they are wanting to make sure that the students are always getting the best education that they can possibly give the students, which I thought was nice. And Georgia Southwestern also has a committee that approves, but the committee is different. Where at Georgia Southern, the committee focused on advancing the university and the mission and making sure the mission was fulfilled. Well, at Georgia Southwestern, this committee actually approves and changes the curriculum when necessary, and they are also overseeing the academic advising. So that was different from Georgia Southern. At Duke University, the provost is responsible for coordinating assessment and accreditation issues across the campus. And the provost also provides oversight for all campus initiatives, which we also saw at Georgia Southern, but we did not see at Georgia Southwestern. So I thought that was really nice because the provost is actually involved in all of those different initiatives that are taking place across the campus. The focus at Duke University is to improve the quality of educational offerings at Duke. And they identified, there's a committee actually, just like the other institutions have. There's a committee at Duke that comes together and they found the best practices or what they feel are best practices and share them with the faculty to be sure so that the faculty members can take those best practices and take them to the classroom and provide a rigorous environment for the students. So at Duke, they want to continuously focus on improving the quality of education, which was nice, which I'm sure all institutions want to do. And the last question asks to discuss the role of faculty as it relates to academic affairs, and do I agree or disagree with if this role is appropriate. And from reading the article that was written by Rice, there was something that was mentioned by Nelson, who published a book, and he compared basically faculties back in the day, I should say, and faculty roles now. And in this book, he talked basically about the role of the faculty being excited about learning and how they wanted to share their knowledge to students and how they were concerned about students and the knowledge that students were receiving and how they were passionate about learning, how they wanted the students to be passionate about learning, and they were passionate about teaching the students, and that they had to be able to teach from the book but also share their own personal interpretations, which I thought was really nice being a teacher now. But then he went on to say, Rice went on to discuss that has changed completely. Now the focus of the faculty, or the role of the faculty, is on research, that they have taken the time out of the classrooms and put it more into research, and the time spent with students is not equal as it is on research. And I don't think that's the appropriate role. I agree with the first way, where the teacher should be more involved with the students. I do feel like research is important, but I do feel that it should not be taken away from students. And there was something in particular that was discussed. As stated in the article, they said that good teaching will follow from good research. And I think that when professors find this research, or when they're doing research, that they should take their findings and their learning and incorporate it into their classrooms. But that's not happening because there is a division between the two, and there is more pulling towards the teachers being in research than in the classrooms. So I do feel like that is not the appropriate role, that the teachers should be more involved in the classroom, but bring the research into the classroom. Thanks.